evening. Welcome to a spontaneous, adventurous cat space. Usually, we have a bunch of questions and we go around the table, the family table, and we answer some questions. But tonight is in honors of our boys. Tonight, I am Kat. This is Buckets. Over here is Braden. And next to me is Aaron, AA. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so we are going to fly. Okay, now we are down to the wire. We've seen the episodes, we've seen the tears, the tantrums, the childish behavior, the game, playing, the manipulation, the lie, and the backstabbing. All in the name of Big Brother. So we are down to the nitty-gritty wire of the top 5. We've got OG, final OG, Reggie. We got newbies, Brenton, Johnson, Alicia, and Taras.
Go Taras.
They just eliminated master manipulator, big player, Timothy Dormer.
And not fast enough, in my opinion. I have hated Tim. I know everyone else has loved him, but ever since he's entered the doors, I've absolutely hated him, honestly.
But let's look at it this way. Let's go around the family table and talk about this. Braden, I'm going to throw the dice in your area and you're going to roll and tell me what you think.
Oh, what a way to spin. I honestly, so far, there have been some great moments. There have been some really terrible moments. But honestly, this week has been very eventful, to say the least. I really enjoyed it. Let's talk about the infamous double eviction.
Oh, yes.
Of Estelle and Reggie. Okay, Estelle, I saw it coming with her. She's been target number 1 since week 3, so that was just obvious. But Reggie, sending Reggie home because they went into the arcade, and let's talk about this twist. I personally feel like they could have done more with the arcade. It was just a room. I thought there would have been some sort of challenge, and a lot of other people have been saying that on Twitter. So what do you think about that?
Oh, do you know what I thought about that? I thought, I don't know who the psychiatrists are involved in Big Brother. There would have been some psychiatrists on board, but if you look at all the other series before it, psychologically, they've been pretty messed up. I mean, putting people in a white room, putting people in a room that has a red diamond in it, and if you basically pick it, you're kicked out of the game. So I think they probably thought, you know what, we can't keep doing this anymore. So let's just put them in a video game arcade and let them have a bit of fun whilst they work things up, and let's just throw Taras in the mix and see what happens. I just thought, you know what, out of all the rooms that they could have put them in, that was not torture. Okay, that was just a little bit of fun. That's like Time Zone. That's what they put them in.
I was going to say that.
Put them in Time Zone.
I mean, if Big Brother had placed me in a room like a Time Zone room full of games, gave me a bed and everything else, I'd be like, I may go crazy, I may not. Just keep on giving me tickets to win a few games. Rig the games a little bit. I'm happy playing Time Zone. I'll never want to come out. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland type thing. Or, go down the rabbit hole, kind of see what's there. But bringing Taras in, it was like I was sitting on the couch and I was like, oh, no. Why do I feel my heart beating? It's so fast. I'm going, da-dum, 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 dum, dum, dum.
I just kind of thought it was just you know what, if that was me and they threw me in Time Zone, knowing full well that there are a bunch of liars and manipulators and pricks on the other side, I'd just say, just keep me in here. I don't even want to leave Time Zone. Just keep me in here as long as possible. I'll pay to stay here. It was me.
What
If
do
it
you
was
think,
me.
Aaron? What do you think?
It has been an eventful week. Like the thing I don't get is like we never saw that fake double eviction coming. So like, where did that come from? Like, obviously the game can change from like day to day, and like, but well, the thing I also like is like we obviously didn't see that coming, and that's the good thing about it, really.
Now
Yeah.
let's think of it. Here we have the strongest contender and competitor to win his way in the series. And I'm all for Reggie. I want her to win. This whole thing was set up for Reggie. But truth be told, let's be honest here, we're a family. Taras. Dear Taras could be the first newbie to actually beat an OG to her game and be crowned Big Brother winner. And he'll become a legend of his own in his own right.
Yeah.
Do we believe this is Teras's year, or do we believe this is Reggie's year? Do we believe this is Brenton's year? Do we believe this is Alicia's year? Do we believe this is Johnson's year? What do you boys think?
I really like Taras. I really do. But if I had to put my points on anyone who's actually going to win this year, it's Reggie. It's hands down Reggie.
Yeah.
Because she's the queen of the house. And you know what? She's got a lot of things going for her. She's practically blind, which means she's never going to be able to play this game again. And just Australia loves Reggie.
We all love Reggie.
Everyone in the house can't hate Reggie. Even Tim and Taras couldn't hate Reggie. And Taras hated a lot of people in that house. But they could, even with all of their hate, they still could not get rid of Reggie because they love her too much. And I bet you any money that Reggie will probably win it for that reason, because they just don't have the heart to take her out.
What do you think? What do you boys think? Like, is this the possibility of seeing a lovable Reggie? I mean, let's all give her a shout out. Reggie, if you ever see this, we love you. And you know, Reggie has the biggest support. What do you guys think of this? Could be historic. Like, this could be the Big Brother winner twice over. What do you guys think?
Oh, 100%. I think Reggie has it in the bag. And that's not just my personal opinion. This is just observing all parameters of social media, like Instagram, Twitter, the forums, what else? Facebook even. I mean, Facebook is a massive Reggie fan. And of course, why wouldn't they be? A lot of Facebook people are older. They probably watched her back in the day and whatnot. But yeah, look, with Taras, I think if this was like a newbie season, like an all newbie season, I think Taras could have won it. But I think because there is that aspect of OGs, I don't think he has it, unfortunately.
I think Taras is a really strong player, and I really respect Taras. He reminds me of some of the characteristics that Danny had. But I actually do agree with you. I don't think he's won it purely because I think he'll come a close second, but I don't think he'll win it, sadly. I wish he would, but I don't think he will.
I think let's look at it this way. Like, we've seen the nomination challenges. We've seen the second nomination challenge to save their lives. We've seen powerhouses. I remember, you know, seeing Jules and Brenton walking, and the first thing I thought it was, oh no, this is going to flip the script. This is going to be like two massive sharks going into a pool of little fishes, and, you know, the housemates are going to be eaten alive. But the thing is, unbeknownst to them, Brenton and Taras and maybe Tim and Johnson, but more so Brenton and Taras. Taras, this is his 8th time winning. I mean, this is, I think what's great about Taras is that he's carved a name for himself. He's carved the words OG for him, because a legend and an icon in his own right, not that they all aren't, but if, say, in 10 years' time, Big Brother decided to make another 30th anniversary one, or 9 years' time and start doing a 30th anniversary, you'd want to mix housemates from 2012, 2013, this year, 2020, and mix them all together. But the word OG, I think, will be more powerful in 9 to 10 years, because Taras, they're all legends, they're all champions, but Taras has carved the name OG by his name. And he knows he's carved it because the way this man has played this game has been masterful. He's a genius. His strategy game is on point. His talking, his way into, pulling the strings on everybody. What made it extra spicy was tonight was when Taras said about Alicia was, oh, she's lucky she didn't go home tonight. And Alicia was just like, I was like, oh no, she's got a gun for him this final week. This is the push.
Yeah.
What do you guys all think?
I think because he said that and she's shocked by that, he's going to be the next target. But Taras will just work extra hard, as he always does, in winning challenges, and then she'll be on the cutting block. I guarantee it. And I'll be very, very, very surprised if she wins the next challenge, to be honest. If you want to know who the hardest hardcore contenders in my mind currently are, it's like Taras, Johnson, and Tim, and they just got rid of Tim tonight. Okay, so they're like the most hardcore guys that are in it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, when Johnson and Taras get removed from the game, it'll just be on an even playing field all over again.
Yeah.
But so for that reason, I can see why they'd want to put Taras up and why they'd want to put Johnson up.
Like, what do you guys think? Home stretch.
Yeah, so, oh God. Yeah, I don't know. Alicia's been lacking a bit. Like, there are times where I see her and she's like this mob boss, but then she just becomes kind of a background character, and like, I don't know if that's to maybe foreshadow her maybe not making it. I don't know. Like, this is all legend. I'm not spoiling anyone. This is a spoiler. This is just kind of what I've read or like kind of observed. Yeah. God, not spoiling anyone. Again, not doing that.
Spill the tea, honey. Spill the tea.
And if you can't spill the beans.
No. But yeah, look, and then you've got Brenton, and Brenton, he has become more likable over the coming weeks, because like I've actually seen aspects of his personality, because his personality has not really been shown in the previous weeks. So I mean, that's good. Yeah, Johnson, I feel like has been kind of, I feel like he's been a pick from the start, and so is Taras, but Taras has also been very under the radar, which we've all seen up until he targeted Tully, got rid of her. Still find that quite sad. I miss Tully, would love to have seen her still, showed so much more. But yeah, I think that the moment when Layla dropped her sword for Johnson, I think that's the moment I knew that he was going to be a real contender.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Reggie, who's I don't think anyone can actually want to get rid of her.
No, of
And
course.
that's the thing. And if they wanted to, they should have done it way back at the start.
It would have been way easy to get rid of Reggie at any period of the game. But
Yeah.
she's not doing it because she's like a mother in the house to everyone. And the thing is, when you're in a house like that, you need all the support you can get. And someone needs to be the supportive mother somewhere. And Reggie's it.
Like,
you know?
let's.
So
What about
But the thing is,
Yep.
sorry, but the thing is, right, I'm looking at how the public will see it, because you got to think, we're the ones who are voting at the end, you know, and a lot of people have said this, you know, if Reggie was to get eliminated around now, that one person who targeted her, their chances are like kaput, nothing. They've got nothing, right? Whereas in the start, it would have been okay because it would have taken a group effort to get rid of her and not do that. So, yeah.
What about you, Aaron? Where do you see the finish? Like, where do you see the finish line in this? Like, who's your pick to sort of who's now the target? Who do you think is the target this week?
I think Taras is the target for this week, but I also think he can maybe make it to like the top two with Reggie. So it's like I think it's gonna be between him and Reggie for the win. I think.
Who's your target, bro?
Who's my target?
Mm-hmm. You've got Brenton, Alicia, Taras, and Johnson against Reggie in the final nominations charge. Who do you think will take it out? And who do you think is your target to actually go, okay, there's going to be 3 more seats left before the final 3? You know, who's going to be up in the final? Who's going to be up in these beautiful purple chairs we've seen?
Oh, okay. I think that I think Brenton's time is up because he's an intruder. I think a lot of people, you know, as much as I guess they weren't so hardcore like Reggie, who went off Jules, I think that, you know, still when you're an intruder, you're still kind of valued less because you've been there for less time. So you haven't gone through the mental, I guess, you've gone through the mental anguish from day one to all the way to the end. So yeah, I think Brenton, I think he's going there.
See, you mentioned Brenton, and you're probably right. His time is probably up. Brenton, let's congratulate Brenton because Brenton may be an intruder and he's lasted this long. He's the second intruder since Sam 2012 who's come out, who was in the top 5 or the top 8 of his season. If you remember.
Yeah.
Sam was just as close, and now we have Brenton, who is probably in alignment with Sam. How weird and how spectacular is that?
And not just that, like in from the Channel 7 seasons, he's gotten the furthest as an intruder.
Yeah.
Because last year it was Adriana who got to top 7.
Yeah.
So,
but for me,
congrats to him.
when I see this, I think of Sam. I don't know why I see Sam and I'm going, these two are different volumes of different seasons, but Sam was an intruder and now Brenton's the only intruder left. These two from 9 years comparing, they're the only intruders to have lasted this long.
Yes, but you see, Brenton was smart. He knew that there's going to be a target from on his back from the very beginning because he's an intruder. And he knew that. And he played that as an advantage. So he made alliances with Tim, which was the strongest player. And he made alliances with Taras, which is, again, extremely strong player. So even if Tim fell through earlier than expected, Taras would still have his back. So he was a really smart player. Even though I think he's a snake, like deep down inside, I think he's a snake. I think out of a lot of the players, he is really intelligent and he knows exactly what he's doing. And he will go, oh, okay, I'll back you. I swear I will back you. I'll save you because you're in a really, really bad situation right now. But if he sees any sort of any sort of way that you're a really, 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 really strong player, and there's like literally that, and he suspects that he's going to come up, another player's going to come after him, he'll make sure that you're out. But I think what's made this episode different is that he's not using his head, he's actually just using his heart. And I think that the game has kind of changed him that way because it was always the other way around. So, yeah, I mean, that might actually pay in dividends, perhaps, because at the end of the day, they're going to kind of recognize and say, okay, well, you could have gotten rid of this player, but you didn't because you like him. But every other time before that, it was like, no, I need to get rid of this player. He's a threat.
What about you, Aaron?
Yeah. What was the question again? Sorry.
We were talking about Brenton. Like,
oh yeah. I think the way he's played the game, because he went in there acting the dumb guy, and sort of we've come to like him in a way for playing that sort of game. Yeah, and I think he could maybe go to like top 4, maybe.
Yeah, I see him as top 4. I don't see him as top 3, but I definitely see him as top 4 for sure.
But let's not all look, Brenton. You can't tell me him not taking his shirt off tonight was the most spectacular thing I've ever seen.
All I got from this one was just no, leave it off. I'm looking at that. That's what I got tonight, okay?
Yeah.
Right? You can't tell me when he took his shirt off, you were like, hubba.
The only thing I was missing, seriously, was KFC and popcorn, honestly. Popcorn chicken, that's what we should have had. Popcorn chicken, you and I.
It's like, as soon as he took his shirt off, I was like, oh, wow. Or like,
why wasn't this part of the rest of the show?
Keep his shirt up and he's gone all the way through. Oh, Brenton, you're a legend. But the thing is, right, if it wasn't for like I find difficult to understand is the newbies are out, they're hungry and they want to beat the OGs. But the thing is, they couldn't beat Reggie, but now it's sort of like when they all walked in and they saw the OGs, we all knew some of them had a chance, some of them didn't have a chance. Poor Johnson, he was pretty much at the beginning the quiet one. He's the super fan. He knows every housemate. He knows their backstory, how many times, like their evictions, this, that. And he became the quiet one. But then when he started out of the gate, it was like game over. Johnson knew who he wanted. He knew who he went for. And then he had Alicia. The thing is, I'm sorry, Alicia, but I don't understand her. Like, I don't understand nothing about her. Like,
I don't feel anything with
I don't
Alicia.
feel anything with Alicia or her head game or her heart game. I just can can you boys help me, because I'm struggling to get to know Alicia. Like, I'm struggling to side with her thoughts and her decisions. Like, what do you make of Alicia?
Oh God, I don't know. I think that Alicia is strategic. I think she can do things. I mean, we've seen her in multiple times rally the troops to get someone out, but I'm not sure. Like,
See,
I mean, what we know of her is that she hates chickens. She has a distaste for sheep. She doesn't like sheep.
no sheep when she sees sheep.
I don't know. Like, she likes super dupers. She likes those.
She's not the girl next door, is she? Like, she's someone I could see, as a villain on Home and Away, or as some, Australian drama, soap opera, playing this villain character. She doesn't come across as this quirky, cute, likable, lovable girl next door. She's very sort of, I don't know, overconfident, maybe. Am I wrong to say overconfident?
This is how I see Alicia playing the game, right? It's almost like she's playing soccer. So anyone who's ever played soccer on the field, it's like this. You kind of, you try to get the other players offside. And the way that you do that is by moving forward a bit and then moving back, and then moving forward and then moving back. And I see that's kind of her kind of gameplay. So what she does is she rallies up the troops and goes, hey, we've got to get Tim out, and don't let him plant a seed in your head because he's going to screw all of you, okay? And then when that happens and Tim's out, she'll just go behind the lines and hides herself all over again, and then acts like a floater, so that no one sees her as a threat or as a major power. Whereas everyone sees Taras as this major power. Everyone sees Johnson as this major power. Everyone sees Tim as this major power that's willing to go out swinging. Whereas she just kind of influences and nudges people to vote in the direction that she wants them to vote. And then she just kind of hides behind the scenes again. And that's how I think I've seen her entire game for the entire season. It's actually quite interesting because it's like, there's like this saying in The Art of War where it literally says, when you are weak, you have to act like you're strong. And when you are strong, you have to act like you're weak.
Yep.
And I think that's entirely her game. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually has The Art of War in her book collection at home. And she's just kind of learning from that, because that's her whole game strategy for the entire season that I've noticed.
I think what I've come to know about these housemates and newbies is that each of them has played a strong, strategic game. And each person that's on the board has either moved 5 steps ahead or have gone 5 steps behind. And sort of, everyone says, oh, I don't like this character, or I don't like this character because he lied, she lied, he said, she said. At the end of the day, Big Brother's all about lies. It's about strategy, it's about lies, it's about nominating. You're literally banking on $250,000. That's like $250,000. I mean, surely if you were in the game for $250,000, yes, sure, you'd be making friends for life and carrying that through your life, but $250,000, imagine what you could do with that. Buy a house, take care of your family, go overseas, retire for the rest of your life even. But the thing is, I think Taras has mentioned that he's the only one who I've seen has mentioned the word $250,000 at each nominations challenge. He said, I'm here to win. He said, I want that $250,000. I want the $250,000. I've got my eyes set on it. I don't know why all the other housemates, maybe Reggie has said it, but I don't know why the other housemates haven't looked at looked at that and thought, no, I want that for me.
Well, it's actually
I want to win that money. I need that money. Like,
it's actually interesting that you make that comment, because the funny thing about it is that a lot of them are actually planning to make friends outside of the house. And even the way that they say goodbye to people, they hug them, they kiss them, and they say, after this, we'll meet up for a drink or something like that. Drew certainly did that. Sam
God,
certainly did that.
Don't remind me.
But you know, there have been players in there that are building these really strong relationships, even if they're just friendships, right? Outside of the game, that are just thought they're not seeing the money side of it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they've all just forgotten the money, and just want to build up the friendships. And it's interesting to see all these guys that came in with great strategy and whatever, and it's like, well, bugger the strategy. I have friends now. I have to defend my friends. And it's also the one thing, the continuing theme that they've always said throughout the entire game is trust is the greatest asset that they have, the greatest commodity that they have in the game.
They've also said trust is currency in the house, and
trust
is very hard to go by. Like, I want to know from both of you what you think of the trust between, from start to finish, from start of 2022 to now towards the finish line. What do you make of the whole? I don't trust him, but I trust her. I don't trust her, but I do trust him. I don't trust him. I don't know. Flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. What do you guys make of that?
Oh my God. Yeah. I guess if trust's the currency, at this point we must be in a recession because
it's not just a recession, Brayden, it's a depression.
Good God, they argued over lollies. They argued over lollies being taken away from them.
I know. If I hear the term head player and heart player again, I'm so over that.
Me too.
Because look, I think, and I think it's important to bring up the whole Estelle situation with Taras. I think, I support both of them in different ways. I've always supported both of them. I'm not here to, take sides or whatnot, because, look, Estelle has consistently shown grit. She's been the Aussie battler, and I think that needs to be respected. But also, Taras is one of the best casting choices in terms of strategy for this format. I really believe that. I think that they both are good at the game in different qualities, and I also want to bring up, we are watching a highly edited TV show. I think that, people going on social media and trolling them or sending them hate or like even death threats, I think that is so unnecessary and disgusting, and you really need to have a look at yourself if you're doing that.
Can I say something about Estelle? I really didn't like how Estelle kind of expected Taras to fail, as if it wasn't his right to succeed. And I saw that and I was like, okay, you're both in the same boat. You both want to succeed. It's just that Taras just tried that little bit extra to win the challenge. And that's what he's been doing. So I didn't like the fact that Estelle was just like, oh no, you should have basically stood down for me because I'm Estelle and this is the deal that we made. If Estelle was in a different position and she was winning and she could go on all day without any pain whatsoever, she would, okay? And she wouldn't save Taras. She would have kicked Taras out. So that's why I'm a little kind of angry at, not angry, I'm just a little peeved at Estelle for her to think that just because, you know, she had fallen, that she didn't really, that she should, that they shouldn't have put people up. That's what the game is. It's a game about winning, and it's a game about losing, and it's a game about succeeding. And if you don't like the result, you can't just argue and argue and argue. You just have to accept it for what it is and try to basically dig yourself out of a hole and survive another day. And everyone else in the game has tried to do that. You know, and anyone, and you know, you're going to lose some and you're going to win some, and that's just how the game works. So
What about you, Aaron?
yeah, I'm just Estelle about that.
What was the question again?
About
Sorry.
Estelle, like Philip was saying,
yeah.
how he found that Estelle was sort of on her high horse. Like, I have a different opinion, and I'll talk about it in a minute, but the floor is yours.
It's a hard one about Estelle, because you can either love her or you just hate her, kind of thing. And it's like some of the things that she did in there was like, oh, that's a good move that she's did there. But some moves she did in there were like kind of stupid, like telling Reggie to go and hide in the laundry.
I never understood that.
It was because she was
yeah.
worried about her mind being poisoned by the rest of the housemaid. That's what she was afraid of. Okay, and she knew that Reggie couldn't keep her mouth shut, so she thought, "Oh, I've got an idea. I'll just put her in a closet and shut her mouth for her."
But do you
With an
think,
apple in her hand,
yeah, I mean,
fixing the washing machine.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
like for me, look, I can't, oh, it's hard to say. Okay, I'm struggling because I love you, Stella. I hope you're watching this. Estelle is my girl. Estelle is, you know, a battler, as we said. She's not a strategic player, she's a heart player. And, you know, never underestimate Estelle. I've been a fan of Estelle's since 2012. I voted for her all throughout 2012. I joined the hashtag Stellahood. And when I saw her come on the season, I was like, yes, perfect player. That's my goal. And I just think, you know, let's not forget the lavender in her hair from years ago to completely a different, beautiful woman in front of us. You know, I think people underestimated Estelle and underestimated the way she thought. I think Estelle is very sensitive and emotional, and she played a lot. I mean, Tim bragged on her for playing with her heart, not with her head. But I think she did it because maybe the storyline put her like that. The editing, you know, the way it was edited, you know, she was seen in a natural light, you know, compared to others who complained, oh, I didn't have enough airtime, or, you know, I'm not like that really, and they only showed this side, and that's not fair. But thing is, you didn't see that from Reggie or from Estelle. You know, Tim said, oh, they captured every essence of me, you know, every angle. Estelle is a heart player, and she's a very smart heart player. I love you, Estelle. My girl. I'm very proud of her. She did very well.
I thought her speech, against Reggie, when after the whole Taras challenge, I thought that was kind of a wasted twist, because they basically went back to the start where they started beforehand. But anyways, I thought that her speech was really, really amazing. You know, it's the fact that, you know, she she almost like kind of it felt like a character completion.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, like she took on board, you know what, this is a game of strategy and I'm here to win and I want to work with you, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I thought, yeah, I really appreciated that.
I
Yeah.
think Estelle is, as I see her through my eyes, is, that superhero, heroine-esque in a superhero movie. She doesn't, everyone underestimates her. They pick on her, they say things. But at the end, not all heroes wear capes. And that's what I'm very proud of with Estelle. She shed all her layers and she said, I'm here to play a game. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm here to play a game and I'm here to hang with my old mates and make new friends. And that's just who Estelle is.
But the issue there was, the thing is, she should have shown that earlier in the game.
But she did.
Well, I mean, if she'd have made that speech, or at least acted out on that speech, like if she'd have been that person maybe 20 days before she actually got evicted, then there's a really good chance that Tim would have supported her and everyone else probably would have supported her. But the thing that put her in danger mode was the fact that she said, I'm a really strong player. And so when you say that you're a really strong player, as even though it obviously does change her as a character and there's all things great with that, unfortunately, she put herself in the firing line because all Reggie really had to say was, I'm not as strong as Estelle. I'm not your threat. And what's going to happen when this really strong player that's next to me is going to take you out? And that was enough. That was enough to go, you know what? Reggie isn't the target here. Estelle is.
Yeah.
Because she has changed. And although I can use her, she can, switch at any given time and take me out. And that's why she got taken out. Even though I will say myself, that was a really good speech. And it really was a quite an exceptional test of her character. And I really respect her for that speech.
Now, let's look at, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but I'm going to be very careful with how I word this so we don't get in trouble, or I don't get in trouble with. From what I've been seeing on Facebook is the fans have been going insane. Let's be real, okay? There's been, I don't like this person, get rid of them, or I like this person, keep them there, or why is this season like this, or why, I'm just going to switch off, I'm not going to watch this anymore. It's like, hello, this is a game. It's a game. It's ruthless. It's painful. It's, manic. It's insane. Like what we've seen this year. And I know some people have said, oh, this isn't the 21st birthday celebration. And I even have said that at times where I've doubted, where I've said, look, this isn't the season I was hoping it would be. But at the end of the day, this needs to be picked up again. We can't have our show disappear from our eyes ever again.
Yeah, I think that the funny thing about this show is that it's changed all the characters. I mean, even when we were interviewing Tahan the other like a couple of weeks ago. By the way, please watch that. It's a really even when we were basically interviewing Tahan, even Tahan basically said that the show itself changed her in some way. And it would be a shame either not to bring it back or to cancel the complete show, because it really has been one of the best things on television, to be perfectly honest. And to cancel the show, honestly, would be a massive mistake, in my opinion.
What do you boys think?
Okay, I think that I think they could go for a 2023 season. I don't think it would hurt to do that. And you got to think about it, you know, the way that Channel 7 invests in the show, it's very cheap. If you if you read online, all of the OGs basically got paid the same amount as the newbies. They get paid about like 150 a day for each day that they're in the house. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's pre-recorded. You know, it's, you know, the housemates aren't paid as much and whatnot. I think that, you know, they could go for another season again, or maybe they could go from all newbies or another set of OGs to bring in. Maybe they could do that. But yeah.
What about you, Aaron? Do you see next year happening for Big Brother?
Yeah, they could definitely go for a season next year, but obviously we've not actually heard anything at the moment if it's been renewed or not. But I think I think they could either go for like an all newbies season or maybe do the same as this year.
What do you think?
I think they definitely should, because I love MasterChef. I really do. And Kat loves MasterChef. But Big Brother, look, I used to be a chef. Okay. So Big Brother was so entertaining that it was able to sway me off MasterChef. And that's saying something. Okay. I love Gogglebox. Gogglebox is a great show
This is about Big Brother.
Whatever. But I think Big Brother is better than Gogglebox, and I think it's better than MasterChef at the moment.
For me,
Sorry, go.
Yeah. Sorry. The only thing I'll say about this lastly is, for me, Big Brother has helped with my anxiety and panic attacks. It's not just been an emotional thing, it's been a mental thing for someone like me. It's made me laugh, it's made me cry, it's taken away my anxiety and my panic attacks for an hour every day. It's helped me feel normal with myself. I have the two greatest guys in my life, my best friends, which are you and Aaron. I'm very blessed that it's brought me and all of us. No, but
I got denied. You hear that? I got denied.
No, but what I'm saying is, I have you every day, but it's sort of, for us, it's had you guys in our lives, but it's had you guys in my life,
and it gives us material, man. Seriously.
And no, but in all jokes aside, not just for us, but for myself, mentally and emotionally, I've gained with all of us, but myself, I've gained 2 new best friends. And I know Philip has said as well, they've become best friends and you guys are a family. So it's a mental and emotional health and well-being. And I thank Channel 7 and I thank Big Brother in general for that.
Yeah. Anyway,
let them say something.
What do you have to say, Aaron?
Yeah, you can go.
Brayden?
Me. Yeah. If they bring it back next year, which I do hope so. I do. You know, I relatively enjoy this. I do. It's great being able to interact with the housemates whilst they're watching themselves back. I think that's quite an interesting thing. We've never had that before. So, but yeah, look, I think that Channel 7 should maybe invest more in, I guess, character development. You know, maybe they should, you know, maybe give us like a 10-minute or 20-minute daily show, you know, on 7 Plus, and advertise 7 Plus more, because I haven't seen 7 Plus be advertised enough. You know, I don't feel like there's enough traffic. You know, I would like to see some of that. So, if a producer or an intern is watching this, hi, put this forward. I think
the best thing that Channel 7 has put forward is like you said, Braden, character development, because it's one of the things about character development is that we recognize traits within ourselves. And I think that's one of the reasons why Big Brother has been so popular, because we see little characteristics within ourselves that we may or may not admit to. Like, because everyone's kind of got a narcissistic side to them, but they've also got a heart to them, and they've also got the emotion of wanting to save people, and it really is a really
And the empathetic side.
Yeah, we have everyone's got like an empathetic side, so there is a lot of emotions going on in this show, and for that reason I think that's why it's so popular, because there's something about it that touches all of us, even if it's with the variety of characters. And I think that Channel 7, even if it gets sold back to Channel 10 again, or they put it on Channel 9, I think that it would only be a success from then on in. I know that there are people that don't like it, but I've loved it, and I've loved what they've done with it, and I don't have any sort of complaints, except that when I do vote, that I can only vote at the end, and that's it, instead of voting people out during the entire competition.
What do you guys think? Last words. Those yours, both of you.
You can go, Aaron.
Aaron.
What was the last question again?
Just any last thought.
We didn't have.
Make it up as you go
last
along.
thoughts, remember? We're
Make
off
up your own
script
question
right
and answer it.
Yeah. I think. Last thought. I'm trying to think.
Like this is it. Like, what has Big Brother meant to the both? We know what it means to us, but what has it meant to the both of you, and how has it affected you? That's what I want to know. Like, finally, in this on this family
the question
table.
is, maybe we should really do, would you keep it for another year?
But how has it affected you? What does it mean to you?
Watching this version of Big Brother, because obviously we don't have like Big Brother here in the UK anymore. It has obviously brought me you guys into my life. Like, who would have thought I'd be speaking to people from the other side of the world? It's like,
I agree with that.
I'd never thought in a million years that would actually happen, that I'd be speaking to you from my home and then like coming to you live from the UK kind of thing. So,
What about you, Bray?
I've always liked Big Brother since I was a little kid. I remember briefly watching Channel 10 seasons. I remember watching Channel 9, obviously. That's when I really got into it, because maybe I was a little too young from Channel 10. And then I heard it was coming back. I was like, oh my God, I remember watching that as a kid. And so now it's just like, it's become so ingrained into my whole brain, like my whole life. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's such a special interest of mine, and it's fun. It's a form of escapism, and I like it. And
it helps when it comes with the mental and emotional health and well-being. But
it just comes down to this is basically the best Channel 7 has to offer.
Yeah, and it's been great.
Anyway, we'd better wrap it up.
Yeah, we better wrap up. Thank you so much for the spontaneous, off the cuff, off the fly, off the wall conversation. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. Usually Aaron will do this. Don't forget, when you go to YouTube, search Catspace, there's a subscribe thing there. Click on that. There's a bell, Braden. Click on the bell.
Get a bell thing.
If you click on the bell,
Bring
you'll
your
get,
own
You'll get notified.
get
each
notified.
time.
Yeah, get notified for each time. There we go. And leave us some, show us some love, some likes, and comments. We are also on TikTok, tiktok.com/ Hello Cat Space 5. We are also on Insta at Hello Cat Space 5. Tell your friends about us and let us know what you think. We have some fresh topics for next week. I think we have one more when it comes to the grand final, and that'll be it for the season. Thank you so much for joining us. Until then, God bless. Don't forget we have a Facebook page as well, Cat Space, and hit us up and let us know what you think. Thank you for joining us. Stay cool, Australia, and stay safe, and God bless you all. Good nighty.
Bye.